Okay, with Amy Pemberton for Lucy is the short film from the UK. Correct me if I'm wrong, because you got a lot of experience, but this is your first directorial piece that you've ever done.
It is, yeah. Yeah. I absolutely loved it. I had such an amazing time and I learned a ton, like a ton. So,
So,
gonna get up and do it.
so this you're a trained actor, correct?
Yes, yeah.
And
Yeah.
you did you ever consider being one of the roles in the film?
I didn't with this one. I mean, I think my agents are like, write yourself something because I'm writing them as well.
Yeah,
I really wanted to step back and properly learn on the other side, without having to think about anything else. It's very different, isn't it? Like I shadow directors a lot, and if I'm in something, I find it's much more beneficial to not be in it and really focus. It's still
100%.
wonderful, but, you're constantly thinking about what you're doing, and yeah.
So you said these shadow directors. It's one of those things where like it's like the practical and the meta like the kind of the training where
Mm,
you learn a lot, of course, right? But you don't really
yeah,
learn until you do it. Is that a fair term?
100%. I mean, I'm writing something at the moment, and I shadowed on adolescence. I was very lucky to shadow Phil Barantini and Stephen Graham on adolescence, and just seeing the techniques of the oneers, which I know have been done, you know, many times before, but the way they did it was just sensational, and it's got me ticking about not stealing ideas, but how those things work. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
you've got to get it.
didn't Picasso say great artists steal? That's what we all do.
I mean, yeah, I won't be nicking anything. It was more just how you do certain things. It
No,
was
no, I
fascinating.
get it. I get it. Yeah. Tarantino, every shot Tarantino's ever done is stolen from another film, right? So,
Well, there you go.
yeah.
I'm not stealing it, Phil or Stephen. I'm not. But yeah.
Okay, so tell me about For Lucy. So you wrote the script as well. Where did you come up with, how did you come up with this idea? What was the seed of the idea?
Um, Numerous things. I think I'm very drawn to gritty drama, be it wherever it is in the world. I love those authentic stories and how as humans, when we're faced with adversity, how we cope. And yeah, there's been a fair bit of adversity in our family, sadly,
Yeah.
but just inspired by how incredible my dad was. And he used to say to me, just do the thing. Like you say to me, next, don't overthink things. Just if you want to do something, you want to write a film, do it. And I was actually shadowing on a TV show that I was attached to called Legends of Tomorrow. I was shadowing a director called Eric Dean Seaton, who was amazing. And in one of the breaks, I just sat and started to vomit draft it out of how I could piece this together and, who I visualized for the roles. And I mean, that was, of course, everyone knows like one of a gajillion drafts, that was done. But yeah, more just looking at, the resilience humans have, the resilience people have is phenomenal when faced with this kind of stuff. So
So
yeah, I just wanted to,
so the film starts off with the gentleman. It's like two actors, and
Mhm.
he's drinking. So we don't really we're with his this character because you kind of establish him outside and we walk him through. So the point of view is from the film's from his point of view, and then as
Mhm.
we as the audience as they discuss it as he just has a conversation, we as an audience learn what the secrets are and what really is troubling both of them, I guess, right?
Absolutely.
You kind of
Yeah.
take us physically and metaphorically take us into this house.
Yeah. Yeah. It's actually our little house in the outskirts of London. We shot in that. And I wanted it to feel, I'm not sure if I achieved it. I wanted it to feel quite claustrophobic. And
Yeah.
we do live in a small space. Um, I mean, Will Kenning, the DOP, has become a wonderful friend of mine. He's fantastic. And he smashed it for me. He did such an amazing job. Um, but yeah, literally in our little flat in Sidcup, we did it in Kent with not a lot of space. But
Well,
it looked
it
great.
definitely feels like that in the film. You have a lot of close-ups, a lot of two shots of the
Yeah,
two of them.
yeah,
Lots of conversations in life happen in the kitchen, which is your
yeah,
film
yeah,
as well, right?
yeah. It was,
Because we
yeah.
probably spend the most time in our lives in our kitchens, if we really think about it.
They say that, don't they? We spend the majority of our time in the kitchen, or if you go to someone's house, you chat in the kitchen, or yeah, some big conversations take place there, don't they?
Or everybody kind of gathers in the kitchen because everybody goes in, like I'm in my office now, my kids are in the
Yeah.
other room, but then we kind of navigate in the kitchen, right?
Yeah. It's like the hub, isn't it? I always find that
Yeah,
it's definitely the
yeah.
hub of the house. But yeah, Christian Solomeno and Louise Lee, I was so lucky to have them agree to do it. Both incredible actors and have done a ton. So I felt very privileged they even, read the script and wanted to do it and be part of it. I was stoked. So had incredible actors to work with.
So tell me about, okay, so were you friends with them before the shoot?
I knew Louise. We actually did acting class together and we also like have some mutual friends. And I've always been such a huge fan of hers. She's phenomenal, as is Christian. And Christian's been in the game for a long time and has been on amazing television shows and films. And I just kind of knew him more through social media, but we started chatting and I sent him the script and he was very on board, which was amazing. So lucky.
You chatted on social media.
Yeah,
What's
yeah, literally through Instagram. He
uh,
was
the-
exactly what I imagined. But when you have something, in your mind of how I saw Nick, and I was like, oh my gosh, he'd be perfect. And I was like nervous about sending him a little message to see if he'd even read it. And he
yeah.
read it and he loved it. And he was like, I'm on board 100%. So you lucked
So
out.
okay, and then so then when like did you know that you did you hire them separately before they met each other?
No, I knew that they're exactly what I had imagined. And so then I
Okay,
took them both for dinner so they could meet and we discussed the whole project. And,
okay,
I didn't want them just to come into it cold.
yeah.
I know that actor and I know that feeling when you're like, I don't know anything about you. So yeah, we had many chats actually before we started shooting. Yeah.
Did you do rehearsals or
We didn't. We literally shot in one day. And it was winter as well. So I mean it's set in the evening, so we were fine.
yeah?
Um, But yeah, no, we literally just shot it all in one day. I think we like started at 10 and finished at midnight.
So I'm
So
assuming you're prolific. You seem like a very proficient person. So you probably have scripts that you're written. Some of them are half written. Some are fully written. Why was it this script that you wanted to do to make your directorial debut with?
well, the lovely actor Nick Pinnock said to me, gave me some really good advice. He said, whatever you're going to do for your first short, he said, I think really make sure it's in the vein of what you would love to direct, what you're passionate, obviously, about what we're passionate about. And I have numerous things I'm passionate about, but this was just something that I really wanted to put onto paper and have on the screen. I didn't want to spoon feed the audience. I just wanted, exposition's tricky sometimes, isn't it? I just think like let's just let the audience go with the flow and see where they're, where this takes them. Um, and I hope that you think one thing and then you change your mind about what's
Yeah,
actually happened. Was my hope.
yeah. I
Without
think
being
I
really
want to get
knows much information. Yeah.
I want to get to the editing in a bit, but I want to talk about the production because yeah, it's a really well put together film tone wise in terms of the cinematic design. It's like you said, it's the house, right? So you're
Really
limited
house.
in what you do, but then at the same time, there's a lot of creative opportunities you could do. All in the short term, basically what I'm saying is that it's a really nicely photographed film and really nicely put together film. You really captured the essence of this home. It's like it's its own character in itself, right? And then you get in these
Yeah.
close-ups, and all of a sudden we're getting these close-ups and we're getting intense, and then you kind of go back to establishing shot and you kind of
Yeah.
remind the audience, okay, this is where we are. And then you go back
Yeah.
in and then you're like, yeah, it's really well put together.
I mean, it's definitely helped. It was a joint effort. I'm not going to take all the credit for that at
Sure.
all. That's
Yeah.
definitely Will and Christian had ideas, Louise had ideas, and I was just learning. I actually just used it as a learning experience, to be honest, because I'd never done it before.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm so chuffed with how it's turned out and writing the next one and the next one, and just trying to keep the creative juices flowing, as we say over here. So yeah,
Did you have like did you go over the shot list? Did you have like a long meeting with your cinematographer in terms of what you're gonna do?
I think I'm not saying it was simple, but we kind of knew exactly what we wanted. And Will was
Yeah.
very clear and said, this is going to look great. And I, again, was in a learning phase for me with shot lists. Now I'm much clearer, having shadowed a ton more. Like I know exactly what I would want to do with the next one. I mean, the third one. So yeah, I learned a lot from everyone.
So what do you think the biggest thing you learned from this first film?
Oof. Well, I tell you what, as an actor, I had a moment of going, yeah, we get so set on, and of course, we want our emotional journey to feel good within a take, right? But as an actor, it really taught me, it's changed how I feel on set to not overthink and berate myself if I haven't got like a full take of something with exactly the emotional journey that I wanted.
Yeah.
Now I'm standing editing and I'm like, no, but I've got that and I've got that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
in an ideal world, if it'd be great to always have that, but you're going to pick different shots and you've got to, it's a jigsaw puzzle, isn't it? And
Yeah.
that really helped as an actor. It was really good. It's made me stress out less on set.
That's interesting. Because yeah, there's so many things you can manipulate a performance in editing, right? If you really want to.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't have to do a lot of that with this. I mean, lovely. Again, Will edited this one, and I'm learning to edit at the moment on my second one. I was very lucky to work with Kevin Williamson of he's done
Scream.
everything. Scream
Yeah.
franchise, Dawson's Creek, The Following. I mean, I know he's done everything.
Yeah.
The loveliest man on the planet, and I learned a ton from him earlier this year on Scream 7. And he said to me, make sure you edit this next one because you'll learn a ton.
Yeah.
And I have. I've learned what I've missed. I learned what I maybe didn't need to take. And yeah, just to really consolidate what shot list you need. I found
That's
that
so
really
cool.
useful. Yeah.
So and then so who edited this film?
This one is the lovely Will Kenning. He did for Lucy. And the next one, Will's helping me and has been training me to edit. And so
Okay.
it's both of us on the next one. But yeah, this one is Will Kenning, who's done a ton of films and he's an incredibly talented guy. Wonderful actor, director, all of
So you're
it.
looking at you're done, you're wrapped, obviously you did it in one day. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank
So you're
you.
looking at the footage, right? And what's your feeling initially after you see the footage?
So excited because I'd
That's
never done
amazing
it.
because most people
I
are
was
like
so
cringe.
excited.
You're like, oh no, I'm like, well, there's that stage of doubt, but I guess you were like, you move beyond that.
Well, no, also, I guess because it was like Will was directing, was editing. I mean, I
Yeah,
just was watching bits back going, I'm so grateful and lucky that they wanted to do it and they smashed it. So it was a joy. It was brilliant.
yeah. So who was the child actor?
Oh my gosh, little Kyla Compton. She is a friend of ours, their daughter.
Yeah,
Lovely Rob Compton, who's an actor here, and Tanya Robb. They're both actors in the UK. And I'd reached out to them and said, is there any way, Kyla might want to do this? And it was her first thing she'd ever done. And she was super cute. She was so focused and she loved it. She was adorable. She
did
was
you
a
shoot
lovely.
in chronological order when you were making this film?
No, we didn't. We started in the lounge actually. And then I'm trying to remember which order we went in. We didn't start outside. We did that
Okay.
last. Yeah, yeah. And we just, made sure everything was dark, obviously, in the house. And that way we could shoot longer. And we didn't want Kyla to be in bed late. And she'd just been at school all day, so she
Yeah.
came in and did
No, I was
really
just curious because it
well.
kind of like
Yeah.
she kind of creeps obviously further there in terms of the tone. It's like, whoa, whoa. She like comes out of nowhere.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah,
then
yeah.
it
That's
all
what I
kind of
wanted.
pieces together. Like you said, it's like a puzzle, right? It all kind of connects.
Right. Yeah. Where was the moment? Did you feel that you kind of went, oh, hold on, it's maybe not what you thought was happening? And then do you remember where that shift was?
Well, I watched it a long time ago when it got passed
Oh,
to
don't
me.
worry. Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
and I remember I've watched it a few times because now I'm like the third time I'm like kind of figuring out how you kind of did it
Yeah, yeah.
and how you put it together. It was just, but I was in. What I'll tell you is that I was like, because when you watch a lot of films and like yourself watch a lot of films, you kind of can remove yourself away, take away, like well, the slightest false moment can take you out of the film, right?
Yeah,
Because
totally.
you're kind of overconsumed in a sense,
Yeah.
and but your film, I was with them all the way. I believed these characters. I know it's a cliche to say, but I
Mhm.
believe these two characters were partners, and I
Yeah.
just like there was nothing false in the film at all.
No, no. They was that, for people that only really, I mean, I think they met a couple of weeks before, but
Yeah.
just, oh, they just smashed it. It was
But the way you
great.
put it together too, like in editing, the way it was like shot and kind of there
Mhm.
was a lot of handheld shots in the film.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. I
that
mean,
uneasiness kind of
um,
feeling.
sorry, say that
Right?
again.
The uneasiness, but it's not like manipulative.
Yeah.
It's like only like I said in second view, and I'm noticing there these like close-ups are very like he's probably just on his shooting him like on handheld, right? Like and
Right.
yeah, it's nice.
Yeah. In a small space too. And Will's a very tall guy who's like trying to maneuver,
Yeah,
you know, around everything. I got very small hallways, but I just feel like it. it worked, and I've learned how that works now.
Yeah. Oh, so you learned a lot, right? So
I learned a ton, yeah. And I think sometimes it's not, we say this, isn't it? In hindsight, you're like, oh yeah. And it helped me with the next one. And I just, yeah, I absolutely love this side. I've just got to keep creating and get the next one done, get the next one
yeah.
into festivals and yeah, keep that going.
So post production, there like there's a nice sound design in this film too. Who did your sound? Do you remember who did your sound design?
Lovely Tom Fisher. Yeah, he was great. And Will also helped with sound. And it did sound great, didn't it? And also we had this mad storm. I couldn't believe it. I was like, of course there's a storm. Of course there's a massive storm when we're trying
Yeah.
to shoot. Very windy. And also we have neighbors above us and we're picking up some of their sound, but it didn't matter. I was like, it didn't matter. That's the situation. Like this is where they live and that those things would be happening,
Yeah.
you know? It's
Oh, so the
fine.
the actors didn't redo their lines. They just grabbed it from the set.
Didn't get any ADR. No,
So
no, we didn't. Yeah.
that's
It
that's
was all
great.
as was taken. Yeah, which
Do
is
you like
great.
doing as an actor? Do you like doing ADR?
I don't mind ADR. I do a lot of voice work as well, and I've like voiced for celebrities who are too expensive to get back just for a previs. And you learn how to match up your voice to theirs and
Yeah.
their sound. Yeah, I don't mind ADR as an actor. It's fine. It's quite fun.
Okay, so what's next for you? You said you're done with another film in post production right now.
I do. Yes, I actually shot it. Oh gosh, I shot it last year in December in England. Um, and I'm still editing it at the moment, but I have learned a lot. And life's been a bit hectic of late, but I'm nearly there. And then I'll have another session in the edit with lovely Will Kenning, and then I'll be off to sound mix, which would be great. So very
Yeah.
close to having it finished. Yeah,
Yeah. So you learn in the whole process.
yeah. And I think just like even yeah, just and I haven't been on huge sets that much, but being on witnessing Scream and how certain things work, like things just start to make sense, don't they? You're like I understand how that works now, or I understand how to do this, and more the technical side, because I'd love to be a director that can understand that for ease and for time and you
Yeah.
know good pace
Like in
on set on
terms
the
of like lighting and or lenses, like in terms of figuring out a little.
mainly lenses and cameras and shots and yeah, I'm constantly annoying everyone asking like, can
That's
you tell me
good.
what this is and what's this lens and trying to learn what they do and yeah, having an understanding of the atmosphere that can bring.
So when did you start like working professionally as an actor? Like,
I was young, like 2021. I graduated from college. I went into a lot of kids' television and then to musicals and then mainly into television work and film. Yeah,
and
so it's
did
been a
you did
while.
you always want to direct, or is that something that came afterwards?
Do you know what? I'd always thought about it, but it was that overly British thing of being, imposter syndrome, and like I couldn't do that until I started watching the women on Legends directing, and they're like, you need to shadow, you want to do this, you should shadow, and you should start that journey. Lovely Jess McCallan, Katie Lotz, Maisie Richardson Sellers, all saying the same thing, like, do it now while you're on set, start
And
learning
did
now.
you ask them like personally, like the shadow?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. And I mean, I was in the episode, but the director was very kind and said, yeah, absolutely. So
Yeah.
anytime I'm in something now, I'm asking if I can shadow
Okay,
to
so
learn.
tell the people who don't know what do you mean by shadow? Like shadow
Oh, I'm
director?
sorry.
No,
So
no, no. Like,
basically,
yeah, I just remembered that. Maybe we should point that out. What that is.
yeah, for sure. So basically, I mean, depending on how cool your director is with you literally being their shadow, like literally standing near them, going through shot lists, going through the beginning of the day, how it's going to run, exactly what you want to get through. And literally just following them around all day. So you need to
Yeah,
be, careful to not get in the way, obviously, but just and observe everything, make notes on everything. And the sets I've worked on, everyone's been so kind and just said, ask us anything. Obviously, when it's hectic, you've got to read a room and be like, now's
sure.
not the moment, right? But
Yeah.
yeah, everyone's very open to telling you how things work. It's
So you're
wonderful.
okay. So there's the monitor, the director, and then usually the script supervisors beside them, cinematographer, if they're not camera operating, is beside him. So you're just like, are you sitting in a chair? Are you behind, like standing up behind his
Yeah.
over his shoulder? What's the process?
I mean, a lot of the time when you've got Video Village there, I've been kind of sat behind everyone, but still within the
Yeah,
group, so I can hear the conversations. Always on, contacts and hearing everything happen, hearing the notes, hearing the redirection, and hearing all the technical things that might not be working or what is working. So
Yeah.
yeah, just very much there with my little iPad, taking all the notes,
Yeah.
sitting with everyone. Yeah, it's incredible.
So it's interesting because you're come from an acting, and it's like it's a machine. These big budget movies are like they're powerful machines, from the AD department, the
Mm,
camera, the lighting, the grip, the gaffer, right? Sound,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Transport,
Yeah,
locations,
it's
right?
huge.
So
Yeah, and I think
yeah,
until you like, obviously as an actor, you know that because you see everything on the sheets. But then I think spending more time on this side and just feeling the enormity of everything. I've just recently worked on a film and, slightly smaller scale, but again, just the amount of people involved and everyone's so good at their jobs and so much respect. I'm like,
and
I
you
don't know how you.
understand, yeah, and you understand why the TAD, or I don't know what it is in the UK, but the fourth assistant, what is the TAD, assistant director, is always monitoring the actors because
It's a
they
huge
time is
job, isn't
money.
it?
You got to
Yeah,
be on set. It's not about like like if, when the lighting's there, you got to be there, ready to do your job, right?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I remember I shot something called Curfew, an amazing series that went to Paramount Plus UK, but it will be hopefully available in the States at some point. And I remember the final shot we had, the light was outside, the light was going down, and we were having to get rid of a vehicle, basically, possibly into some water, spoilers. Um, and it was just that stress. I could just, everyone was so lovely and professional, but it was like, we have to get this like now, we're going to lose, and then we were going to be in trouble. And that
Yeah.
stress, I'm like, oh, that's a whole other side of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Terrifying.
Yeah. Or you're
Like, that's your
shooting
first day.
outside. You're shooting
Yeah,
outside, and the light, you have to follow the light, the sun, right? So yeah.
right,
Yeah.
right. It's a whole other stress, isn't it? And time management.
Yeah.
So I'm glad the first is there to help with that because I'd be useless.
So what's your can you give us a teaser? What's your next film about?
Oh, this one is more of a I don't know if anyone's watched it's a bit of a mix of like Brassic style, Good Girls meets Bad Sisters. So dark comedy,
Okay.
um, very quippy, very kind of British quippy humor.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think how I can say it without saying too many spoilers about it. A group of friends have had to deal with something quite difficult, basically. And then
Okay.
we find out something huge has happened to one of them, and they're off on a quest to figure out
I'm
how
already
to deal with
seeing a theme in your directorial pursuits, like the secrets, kind
it.
of
Right,
relationship
right. Yeah.
secrets, right? So yeah.
Yeah. The dynamic between these women and the dynamic between, Nick and Liz and for Lucy and
Yeah.
human behavior, all of it. Yeah, fascinating.
That's great. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great. All right, so I'm assuming you're on your own. You're doing different jobs, but you're going to keep directing and keep making magic.
Absolutely. I love it. Yeah.
Well, congratulations on this. I like this film a lot. I think it's a really, like I said, it's a really professional film, really nicely put
Thank you.
together, and nice, like I said, nice directorial. If it's your first film, you're on to something. So, and I guess
Thank you so
as you
much.
kind of to paraphrase what you said, basically, it's all about finding a good crew, right? Of finding good people. So
Absolutely. That's all you ever want to work with, isn't it? You just want to pull the people that you know are gonna be a great energy and
they
meet
make
new
you look
people.
good.
Basically, yes.
Yeah. But that's its own genius, right? Getting the right team right together, right? So
Well, yeah, so that everyone's on the same page and sees the
yeah,
same vision, right? Exactly, exactly. I've really been so lucky with everything I've shot so far. So, and thank you for taking the time
of
to
course.
watch it, feedback, and it's so helpful. I'm learning a lot. So thank you.
Thank you. All right, let's talk again when when we showcase another film of yours.
Awesome. I appreciate your time. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.